Good morning. Stu Smith again. This is Monday, February 24th, and I'm sitting here doing this video as I speak. My pet deer, Big Bird, is out eating my birdseed, and I have no problem with that. That's why her name is Big Bird, because she eats all my birdseed. So I was just checking on her. I'm not going to try to show her this morning. She's shy. She's camera shy anyway, like many of you are. I think she left. I think she got the seat she wanted and she took off. So it is Monday, and it's the morning of the bone marrow biopsy. So I'll be heading into the hospital to have that done today. So it's like I said, I think it's about 6:45, and it's early. Vicky's not awake yet, and so it's a good time to do this video. And so that's what we've got going on today. First off, I wanted to mention I got a recent email from Claire Wright. Claire Wright from the Madison High School class of 70. And he had met up with Tim Brotzman in Baltimore at a nursery stock trade show, that type of thing. I guess they actually do meet out there yearly. And Tim had mentioned my newsletter that he should subscribe. And yeah, and he should, and he has. And actually, he was the driving force behind me sending out all those newsletters I sent in one fell swoop the other day to you guys. I had that, and the fact that I thought I'll get those out there for those who have come lately to the subscription list, and they may be amused by some of those back issues. I don't think they're the oldest issues. I think the oldest issues go way back. I think some have been lost with a new computer purchase, and that sort of thing. I got these off my old XP. I call it my XP machine. It was Windows XP. It's a Dell that I still have that I almost never use, but I was able to retrieve a bunch of newsletters off there. The way I sent them to my new computer, if you will, is I did it in attachments in an email to myself, and then I forwarded that email to you guys. So hopefully some of you who haven't seen those old issues will find it amusing. Yeah, I get a big kick out of someone like Claire meeting up with an old classmate far, far away. Claire is in Virginia, I believe it is, or is it West Virginia? I think it's Virginia. We have several classmates in Virginia. Dale Rumberger comes to mind. The late Jack Rainsford was in Virginia. Jim Warsing might be in Virginia. I know a couple of Jim's grandchildren at one of the local high schools. Know a couple of them. So yeah, I get a kick out of classmates when I hear that they're meeting up, and that maybe the newsletter creeps into the conversation. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I've got Claire on the mailing list now, even though I'm not really sure there's going to be many new newsletters. Right now I'm comfortable doing this video thing. And I don't know how long this will go on. It depends on a lot of factors. But for right now, I'm kind of having fun with this, and you know, see how it goes long term. So I put out that first email yesterday, and I think it was entitled "Day Before Bone Marrow Biopsy" or something like that, and I got some responses, maybe like 24 responses on Facebook. I actually saw that. I was hoping that somehow people would discover that video accidentally, and I think it's fairly safe to say that that probably wasn't going to happen. So I posted the release of that YouTube video on Facebook, and so I haven't checked to see how many views I've had, but I did get like 24 posts on Facebook, and I assume people had watched the video and was commenting. Facebook, for those of you who don't do Facebook, Facebook is a wonderful way to reconnect with people. I use it almost exclusively for alumni. I have a few friends, as they call it, among my family, although really I don't have much family per se. There's not a lot of us left. You know, and when I talk about my side of the family, you know, that kind of thing. So that's what I use Facebook for. Otherwise, I find it semi-annoying, Facebook, and I don't really go there a lot, and I'm going there less and less all the time now. It's convenient to go on Facebook maybe when you're going to the bathroom. It might take the place of a magazine, for instance, or a book that you read while you're sitting there, sitting there. And but it has been really indispensable tool as I have tried to find classmates. And this whole classmate search journey newsletter thing started back at our 30th reunion when my mom saw a posting for more classmates to help with the reunion, that is the class of 71 reunion. Dave Machinga headed up, and a bunch of us were involved, and that was the last time that group joined together to organize the reunion. And for me, I remember we were going to do it again after 35 years or something like that, and I wanted to do it during the winter, and you know, while it was winter outside, when we used to have winter. We don't have much winter anymore, or so it seems. So I don't know, I got out of the group, but I still continued to try to contact classmates and find them and get their email addresses, and if they wanted to share phone numbers or addresses, you know, that was fine. I'm trying to think how many reunions we've had since the 30, and I honestly don't remember. But anyway, going back to my video from yesterday and advertising it, if you will, on Facebook and getting those comments, I did get one comment from a classmate that obviously got my attention more than other email or messages on that that posting below where I advertised the video on YouTube. And I won't mention her name here, although she made her name obvious in the Facebook posting. I don't know if that necessarily means she would like to be recognized on YouTube too, I won't make that assumption. But she left a message, and this is a classmate that goes back with me a long way. Now, we weren't close friends in high school or anything like that, but she is one of the probably the earliest recollections I have of classmates in school. And I'm trying to think of who really comes to mind real early in school, like first grade. We didn't have kindergarten. Or if we did have kindergarten, I wasn't invited. And that could have been. I would never invite me to a kindergarten class if I had the choice. So, but people like Jerry Lynn Poling, I remember very early. I think she had a cousin, Terry Poling, I think it was, who must have moved or something, that I don't remember much beyond first grade. And this other lady who left this posting goes back a long way too. I think she lived not that far from me as a kid, and anyway, her posting was got my attention. She has stage 4 bone marrow cancer. She has lung cancer, and she has non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So, based on what I'm learning about myself and test results and stuff, I hesitate to say that sounds real familiar. So that now I've known this lady has had cancer for a long time. I know she was at the 30th reunion, as I recall. I can remember her sitting at the reunion. I believe the Sunday reunion we had was at Perry Park. When you go down County Line Road north, down into Don Webb's old area. That's how I know that area, because I used to hang out at Don Webb's house and among other places. And you go down Town Line Road. Did I say Town Line Road early? I hope so. That's what I meant. So we went. So you go down Town Line Road and you continue to head north. I don't know what that one road is. Was that Lockwood? I don't know what the name of that road was, but you continue to go north down towards the lake, and there's a park that Barb Hugart secured for us for the 30th reunion. And so I remember this lady there, and I remember she had, I thought at that point, recovered from her cancer situation. And I remember how wonderful she looked. I mean, she looked like way younger than the rest of us. I'm not sure I knew until just yesterday when I read her post that apparently it had come back, assuming that it had ever gone away, and I'm not sure that's the case. But anyway, she seems to be in good mental spirits, and that's wonderful to see. Now, to say this got my attention, I mean, what she has, if my biopsy doesn't go well, it just sounds like very reminiscent of the issues I have. So yeah, it's got my attention, and I got to admit, even I wasn't able to sleep for a while. Now that's not too unusual when I usually will sleep at least once before I go to bed. What I'll do is I'll fall asleep because I get, I can feel I really need sleep, and then a lot of times I'll wake up and I'll read or pursue one of my other hobbies, which I won't mention on YouTube, just because they might block my content here. So at any rate, those of you who know me know one of the activities that I do fairly often online, involving some money. So anyway, so yeah, you know, and I thought of that, so I had a hard time getting to sleep, but I got to sleep okay, and I'm well rested today, and I feel great, you know. So, by the way, up there, let's see if I get my finger right there. That's Oliver. He's a giraffe, and you're not. So, he's watching me. So he keeps his eye on me. And anyway. So of all the well wishes and everything, that certainly got my attention. Now I also got a couple of phone calls last night from Ernie Hines, and Ernie, thanks for the phone calls. I haven't even checked to see if you left a message, but it wasn't late, but really I was just sort of mentally in a place where I didn't really feel like talking on the phone last night, and you know, it could have been anybody called, so Ernie, don't take it personally that I passed on talking with you last night. You know, sometimes, you know, you enjoy talking on the phone, and this would have been one of the times where I wouldn't have wanted to talk on the phone. And that's unusual for me. So, so sorry about that, Ernie. I will contact you at some point somehow. Ernie's always very thoughtful and always proactive in anything that he feels to be proactive about. So, so that's kind of where we're at this morning. I've got a few things I need to do before we head out to this biopsy, and so that'll be I have an old Buick that I inherited from my mother, and she inherited it from my aunt. So as we were coming home, we drove it to church yesterday because we hadn't had it out at all. And this Buick is nothing that I ever would have bought on my own. The only reason I own it is I inherited. I don't buy Buicks. I just don't. And so the muffler came off, so I have to maybe make an effort to tie that up today just to have it done while. It's like amazing here. It's like it's been pretty warm. It was in the 50s yesterday, and the sun has shone for like 3 days in a row. So this February weather is just really unusual. In fact, the whole winter here has been really unusual. So again, I want to thank everybody who sent the well wishes. You know, when they're praying for you, you know they're concerned. So I'm not going to answer those other than with this video. So this video is your thanks as we go forward on this. So let's see, what else did I want to cover this morning? Really, this was just pretty much the day, the morning before the biopsy that I wanted to sort of document here. Excuse me. I've had a cold. I had a fairly bad cold, but not as bad as some I've had. I get one really good cold a year. Hot tea with honey and lemon seem to really really help me when this occurs. So I've drank more tea than an Englishman. So, but like I say, this cold is pretty much over. I think that's about it. Well, my mental state at this point it is good. I mean, it's not that I'm not concerned and don't know what I'm potentially in for here. It gets you to thinking about things, certainly, even though you don't really know too much at this point. It gets me to thinking about, what I need to do going forward. And I've got a few things. Number one, I need to tie that muffler up this morning until I can get it over to the shop. And if I get that tied up, fine. If not, I'll just drive it that way if I need to. I'm not real fond of crawling under automobiles these days, and haven't been for a long time. So I don't want to be doing that. So, but we'll address that this morning. The other thing is, I know one of the things I always take care of is the taxes, and I've not started on the taxes yet. So that's going to be another thing going forward. I just had a ding, which means somebody's probably sent a Facebook message or something. So this morning I got a call, and I've decided not to work today or tomorrow. So I've informed a couple of the schools that I won't be working for Monday and Tuesday at the minimum. And I got a call from Geneva schools this morning, and again, rather than try to explain this, I just kind of hung up on them. I mean, you can swipe for the call to end, and so I just did that. And I apologize to Geneva schools for not answering. I will email her later and let her know the situation. And I haven't given up on the idea entirely of continuing to teach. But obviously today I can't because of the appointment. And tomorrow I assume that there will be some sort of recovery. You would think there might be some pain involved at the minimum. So again, they're going through the hip today. And, I guess the hip, of course, that hip is seems to be really close to the exterior of your body. I mean, that's what happens. Old people fall and they break their hips and get pneumonia and die. So that's what happened to my mom. And you hear about that happen so often. So that's it. So I'll be heading to the shower sometime soon, and you can see I do need a shower. So I think that's about all I wanted to cover this morning. I will be getting a hold of the lady with the bone marrow cancer and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, the lung cancer, just to get a little bit of insight. Again, I still haven't done much reading on any of this. I have a lot of things I like to read, and medical situations don't rank real high among them. So I don't know at what point I'll start researching any of this. Again, it might be premature, but I'm not so sure. And based on what you know, I'm fairly sure you don't know that either. So, you're wishing the best, certainly, but we'll try to be, keep it real here, keep it kind of realistic. So we shall see. So again, yes, I'm feeling good going into this. Be quite an adventure, I'm sure it always is. God, I hate hospitals. I've spent, I was in the hospital for a month, 2 different times. Again, I'm not going to, at this point, go through that, but a month in a hospital is a long, long time. And you begin to wonder if you're ever going home, so. But yeah, but that won't be the case today. We'll be in and out of the hospital today, and get that done, and then we will proceed. So goodbye for now, and Oliver just whispered goodbye to me, so Oliver says goodbye. That's my wife's giraffe, so she likes giraffes. We watched that giraffe video, April giving birth, several years ago, and we watched that for like months. We didn't think she was ever going to have that baby. And by the way, the father's name was Oliver, so we named this giraffe Oliver because we could. So, and we did. So, all right. Have a good day. I think at some point I'm also going to make classmates aware in an email of these videos, because they're going to be the closest thing, I think, to a newsletter they're going to get in a long time. It's pretty egocentric on my part, but I did mention a few other people today, so I haven't forgotten all of you. I won't be trying to gather information for a newsletter of any sort. If I stumble upon something, maybe we can include that. So now it appears the newsletter, such as it is, has now gone the video route, the YouTube route. So we'll see how this works. So again, have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.